What's up, you guys? This is JB back with the next video, and I want to discuss, is console 1 really worth it? Yes. Let's get into it. All right, so I want to take the time out and kind of quickly go over how I use the console 1 within the mix, and it's pretty easy, to be totally honest with you guys, and the workflow for me has been, I love it, just being honest, that you got everything at your fingertips. And as you can see, I really just use the console 1 for balancing everything. I know you can get the fader, the console 1, the Softube fader one, but this got everything I need right here in front of me. So check this out. The only complaint that I do have about console 1, as you can see my template and my session in front of me, right? So the yellow tracks are basically the auxiliaries. That's where everything's been sent to. So as you can see, I have the kick and the bass. They are being sent to my kick and bass. I also have this R1, which is being sent to the kick and bass. Then we have all these tracks right here, which is I consider drums. They've been sent to this drum track, melody, vocals, and so on and so forth, right? The yellow tracks are my buses, all right? So now that is out the way, then what I also do, after I arrange everything inside of my session, how I want it to look, let's get that right, how I want it to look, especially anything that I'll be putting console 1 on, because once you put the insert on, if you move it, it's gonna mess up how it looks in here. All right, so as you can see, I have console 1 here. As you can see, all the way across, except for on these green tracks. The green tracks are literally my effects tracks, and I don't put the console 1 on there because I got it on the bus. I just go all the way across. So also, another key thing, when you put console 1 on, this is the next step that I think about, what's stereo and what's mono, because if I try to just slide them all over, like say for instance, if I just highlight everything and try to put console 1 on this track, it's gonna freeze once it get to these vocal tracks. It's not gonna put it on there because it's putting on stereo tracks. So what I tend to do is go through, say for instance, I go from here to here, to here. That's what I did before I put the effects on, and I put console 1 on. Boom, shift option, and then click. And I got it set up so that console 1 can be right there, my first plugin. If you don't know how to do that, let me show you right quick. It's in settings, preference. It's on your preferences. So we can go to, I think it's on the mixing. So default EQ, I just chose to be console 1. I can choose anything else for my dynamic EQ. Dynamics. For a compressor, I can choose a compressor. If that's what you choose, that's how you do it right there. But I don't have one because console 1 I love it. All right, save. Let's keep going. All right, so once that I have console 1 across my template, in my session across each channel that I need it on, now it correlates inside of console 1. I guess this could be considered a standalone. Yes, this is a standalone. And as you can see, that this shows what's going on inside of the plugins that I have aligned inside of my session. So 1, 2, as you can see, kick and bass, kick, 808, drums, snare, hi-hats, so on and so forth, right? I can just click along and boom, boom, boom. I got it. I can get to everything. If I have more tracks, then I can click and it'll shift over to them. So in my case, when I typically first start, the cool thing about console 1, they have different settings. I don't have to use this. I can toggle through. As you can see, this is the one I typically start with because this is what I use to balance the mix. Because as you can see, everything is pretty much on 0 except for one vocal track. But everything is pretty much on 0. The kick, the bass, all the drums, they still setting the faders on 0. I can do all my automations in here, but my balance is done with console 1 inside of here. Let me show you. Inside of here. So as you can see over here, we got the volume, and I do it right here. So I pretty much balance it here. I use this to balance the mix and shape it up. So the cool thing about it, like you can see, you got your inputs. We got over here. What you see on the screen, I literally can see it right here in front of me. Of course, you know that, right? So you got your fade, you got your high cuts, your low cuts, you got your input gain, you got your, they call it shape on here. They say dynamic shape on the screen as well, but I look at it as a gate. But also, it also can add some punch to it. As you see, I'm using some punch for the kick. I love it. Some sustain. I love that. I love this. Then you got your EQ. And I'm using the SSL 4000E, which it gives me the SSL 4000E EQ and the compressor. Then you got output, and then you got cool. I love the drive, so you can add some distortion, saturation, and then you can switch up the character of it. It can be in the harmonics can affect the low end if I swing it this way, and it affect the high end if I swing it that way. But let's go back to 0. Boom. And stereo tracks, if I really wanted to do something, I could pan it left and right. I actually could do my panning inside of here, but I would have to make all my tracks stereo. And then my volume. But another cool thing I love about this is that I can go in and say, for instance, I don't want to use the SSL compressor, right? It's a kick. I want to use a DBX 160, right? So I can go over here, boom, and compressor. Then I can find any compressor, and I got a lot of UAD. Man, I was blessed with this. And yeah, here we go right here. Boom. And now, as you can see over here, right here, I have the DBX 160. Dope, right? Now I can use that and change the parameters and everything. If I enable it, you can see that they change the parameters, just the compression and the threshold. That's it. It's already set. I can use it. I can even parallel it if I want to or not. But in the case I'm not. All right. So enough with that. What I end up doing is I go through, as y'all have seen, make sure you go check out my gain staging. I go through and I balance the mix. It's pretty simple. This is just my method. There's a lot of methods out there. It just works for me, and it keep plenty of headroom. All right. Dope, right? So I got plenty of headroom, and I'm looking at past everything in my master bus. Oh. And I have to drums. And instruments. All right. Dope, right? Yeah, I love this song, bro. I can't wait till this drops. So pretty much, again, it's real easy. You can do it. It's a lot of things you can do on it. Say, for instance, I want to go and I want to tinker with, let's say I want to tinker with the snare. So the snare is on 5. 5. There go my snare. Say I want to just take off. See, I'm using the distortion. I love it, man. I'm telling you. That drive is a game changer. All right. So I can just go through. And as you can see, check out the volume that I'm actually messing with a lot of stuff. Well, that's a bus. Say, for instance, this is my drum bus, right? Let's tinker with it. This is my drum bus. I want to add what I like to use on the drums. I typically like to parallel it with like sometimes DBX. Let's see what let's just try something. All right, so compression. Let's go with a Fairchild. Select. So now I have a Fairchild up there, right? Make it active. threshold. And this all, you can see the timing. I can switch the timing setting. Yeah. I like this. I want to crush it. I'm a paralleler, right? Completely dry. Let me bring it in. And then I got to compensate for the gain. My trick that how I compensate for the gain is because I got my meters right here on the left, my input and my output. Since this is my bus, this is the final stage, so I just leave it as I need to match this. I can go up a little bit. No, I go back down. That sounds better. Actually, I like that. Let me see a little more. Without it. With it. Hey, I like that. Let's check my levels. Make sure I'm not messing up anything. Nope. Still good. Still good. You know what? That's pretty much what. Oh, I can do the EQ as well. Check this out. Let's see. Let's try a different EQ. Let's go with the drums. What y'all feel? I'm talking like y'all won't answer me, but let's go with the API. Yeah, let's go here. Let's give it a little more top end. What if I give it a little more girth and low? Let's try not 250. So I gave it some 8K. Oh, this even dope. Oh, that's nice. I haven't used this one, but check this out. What we looking at? Let's stop. Check this out. What we looking at. So now I can just pick which frequency I want to go ahead and boost. So 60, 63, 31. Then we got 125, 250, 500, 4K, 2K, 1K, 16, 8K. So I just boosted some 8K, which actually sounds great. Let's give it this. And then some girth. Let's go around like let's take away some 500. Too much. No. Oh, let's see if we can filter. I'm over here. All right, So let's bypass what I just did. Kind of thinned it out, right? I love that. Maybe just give it that. Bypass it again. You definitely got that nice compress. Let's take some of that parallel down. Hey, I like that. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's to really explain like how I just go through it. It's so easy. Like I really don't have to go through Pro Tools. I don't have to go back because typically, again, when I'm starting off the mix, I'm starting with this. I really don't have to use the other, I don't know what you call it, the other GUI. I don't like that setting when I'm starting off. I like to go ahead and do my balance, and console 1 does the job every time, you guys. So if you get a chance, and if you have any questions on like, because I get this all the time on my Instagram, like, hey, oh, do you actually like the console 1? Yes, I love it. It will forever be a part of my workflow. I take it everywhere with me. It's portable, easy to take with me. It's pretty small. Goes in my bag along with my keyboard right on top. Mouse, take it to the studio, and it's with me everywhere. So this is my mobile rig, and it's easy to go with me. But again, if you got any questions, hey, also it's some other stuff out. Let me know if you guys want me to try it out and tell you guys about it. If you got any questions, feel free to ask me below, and I'll get right with you guys. You know how it is. Remember, mixing is an art. Be you, stay true. I'm out. Well, I ain't out. I'm chilling with my boy Replay.